Virginia Governor Ralph Northam insists he will not resign over a racist yearbook photo. In an interview you'll see only on CBS News today, the Democrat says he will do everything he can to regain Virginia's trust. That photograph from his 1984 medical school yearbook, surfaced 10 days ago. Northam has apologized repeatedly and later said he was not in that image. In a Washington Post poll over the weekend, 73% of Virginians said they did not believe his explanation for the photo. 53% said they accept his apology. Here's more of our conversation with the governor. I marvel that you're still standing when so many people have said, you got to go and you got to go now. I'm thinking either he's got a lot of confidence or he's just a little crazy.
Well, I know in my heart who I am, and I know what I can do. And Virginia right now needs a leader that's strong, that has courage, and that can take us to the next level, and I can do that.
You might have to convince people that you're still the right leader for this job. You have a lot to do.
I have a lot of work to do, but I will do everything that I can to regain Virginia's trust.
Starting with a press conference 9 days ago, he says, to set the record straight, denying the man in that racist photo was him.
I believe then and now that I am not either of the people in that photo.
So take us in the process of, you realize, uh-oh, Houston, we have a problem, that's not me. Take us behind the scenes of discussions that you and your staff and your wife had about now we're going to go in front of the cameras and say, it isn't me.
Saturday was a very busy day. I did talk to my wife, my close colleagues, and I just made the decision that we need to clarify this.
But was there some concern with people saying, Governor, now you're going to really look crazy?
Well, I've always been a transparent person, and I just thought it was important to let people know that wasn't me. That's not who I was at that time, and it's certainly not who I am now after 35 years of service to this country and my Commonwealth.
So after Saturday, the drumbeat started beating immediately about he needs to go by people in your own party, by some of the top Democratic leaders in the country, by some of your constituents who were protesting outside your home. And after that happened, you thought what?
I thought, first of all, I've heard a lot of people, not only in Virginia, but in this country. But I also know that I was elected to be the governor of Virginia. People had faith and confidence in me, and we've had a great first year. We've expanded health care to over 400,000. We've dealt with criminal justice reform. We've raised the felony larceny threshold.
Your history of work is good. Your history of work is good. But I do want to make sure that we focus on this, because I think that this is really important to clarify your position.
Yes.
And why you think you still deserve this job when so many people are calling for you to step down.
Well, again, we have worked very hard. Right now, Virginia needs someone that can heal. Virginia also needs someone who is strong, who has empathy, who has courage, and who has a moral compass. And that's why I'm not going anywhere.
You know, the other thing that struck people in the news conference is when you were talking about Michael Jackson and you said, you know, because many people know it's hard to remove shoe polish from your face. And I'm thinking, hey, how do you know that?
Yeah.
Because it implies that you certainly put shoe polish on your face on more than one occasion. How do you know that it's difficult to remove?
Well,
I didn't know that.
When I dressed up as Michael Jackson, I put some shoe polish on my cheeks on both sides. You also, or not you, but folks need to know that I went to military school, military college for 4 years. I polish my shoes almost every day. We did that with what we call a spit shine rag. It's a very thin piece of cloth. And the shoe polish, yes, and the shoe polish goes through that cloth and it gets on your finger, or my finger, and it's very difficult to remove. So that's why I know shoe polish is difficult.
So that's what you were referring to?
That's correct.
Okay. From the very beginning, you said you were not stepping down, but the story has certainly changed. Are there any circumstances that you would step down?
Well, I'm prepared right now to move forward. I don't have any plans to resign, and I think we have a unique opportunity to make impactful changes.
Wouldn't you have preferred to have this unique opportunity another way?
I would, but again, I really do believe that things happen for a reason.
I do too.
I am a faithful person, and there is a reason, I believe, that this happened.
And happened to you.
It did.
And what do you think that reason is?
That we are in a position to learn. I will focus on race and equity. that's something that for the next 3 years is going to be my commitment to Virginia, and I really think we can make impactful changes.
Well, in part of our interview with the governor that aired yesterday, he used the term indentured servants instead of slaves to refer to the African captives who arrived in Virginia back in 1619. In a statement, he told us this morning that during a recent event at Fort Monroe, I spoke about the arrival of the first Africans in Virginia and referred to them in my remarks as enslaved. An historian advised me that the use of indentured was more historically accurate. The fact is, I'm still learning and committed to getting it right. You know, I have to say, when I was talking to him, I did not feel that he was disingenuous or that he was trying to spin a story. He knows that he has a lot of questions to answer. You know, that he's getting hammered for those statements about saying indentured. And I think he talked to an historian, and that's what he was told, that that was a more historically accurate way to say it. But, you know, when he said that, you know, it made me wince a little bit, because the bottom line is it's still slavery, and we all agree on that, including the governor. He agrees with that, too.
Yeah, indentured servitude is different than slavery.
Yes.
Much
yes,
different,
yes.
which is that many Europeans came to this country saying they would work for 7 years and then would be freed. That is different than what was enacted into law in Virginia in 1640, which was the slavery laws.
Maybe this is an opportunity for history teachers across the country to teach another course on this specific issue.
Exactly right.